I imagine that someone like you would be an, kind of interesting and important resource for her, as someone who was, a star when you were so young. I mean, when I don't think people necessarily understand what a kind of strange reality that is, within all the acclaim and the fame and the excitement, to be a kid and have all that attention focused on you must be kind of scary also. Did you find it that way in your own experience?
Yeah, because wherever I go, I disguise myself now, but now I can't, especially, what's going on in the world. So I don't wear a disguise, and people, they really go crazy. They're very happy to see you.
Mm-hmm.
As well as if they know you, and you have to respond back to them like you know them.
Right.
They feel they personally know you. That my pictures are on their walls, my music is playing in their house, so they grab you and they snatch you and they touch you so I just respond back with hugs and loves and kisses because I truly love my fans. Truly, truly from the heart. That's the real truth. I love them. And the ones who are, like if we go to a certain country and they're outside they're sleeping on the street and I throw them pillows and cover and everything and I have my security guards buy them pizza so they can all eat and we get them candles and we really take care of them. They're very, very, very sweet and supportive.
Sam, who is 20 years old and from Texas here in the U.S., wonders, will you release Butterflies as a single that's one of your best songs?
Butterflies is the single that's released now. It's the single now. Someone, thank you very much.
Great. What other, plans do you have, when you, as somebody who's been a kind of innovator, in terms of making short films to accompany your songs, do you conceptualize all that ahead of time? Or, do you decide on a kind of step-by-step basis, this is going to be the next single and I want to make, a kind of visual statement to accompany it? How does that all proceed?
As far as the short film itself?
Yeah.
Well, I let the song pretty much speak to me, and I get in a room, and I pretty much start making notes. Then I'll speak to a writer like Stephen King and myself. Both of us wrote Ghost, short film Ghost, and we just on the telephone started writing it and let it create itself and go where it wants to go. But we try to do things that are very unusual. And it's not an easy thing to do because you have to time it with the song, and you can't spend too much time, and the special effects can take 5 months sometimes to execute. So it's not a difficult thing. And the record company is saying, come on, we have to go. So I understand. So we try to do the best we can in the amount of time that we can execute it in.
We have a question now. Helen from Scotland says, if you could only perform one of your songs for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
Ooh, it would probably be, if I could pick more than one, if I could pick 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think we can go that far.
Heal the World, Speechless. That's a difficult one. I think, You Are My Life.
It sounds you went for the ones that are the kind of the biggest statements in a way, it seems to me.
Yeah, because it's important that they're very melodic and that they have a great important message that's kind of immortal, that can relate to any time and space,
One of the things actually I wanted to ask you is, we've had these horrible terrorist attacks here in New York City and in Washington, D.C. What is the role that you feel, artists can play in the wake of something like that? You did that benefit show in Washington. Is there in music and can artists do something to, help people, get through with what for many of us has been a very difficult time?
Yeah, you give of yourself. You give of your talent, of your ability, the talent that was given you by the heavens. That's why we're here. bring a sense of escapism in time of need. And if you're a painter, you paint. If you're a sculpt, you sculpt. You know, if you're a writer, you write. If you're a songwriter, you give song. If you're a dancer, you give dance. You give people some love and some bliss, some escapism, and to show that you truly care from the heart and be there for them, not just from a distance, but show you truly care. You know, take the long mile and be there for them. And that's what I did, and many others who cared and helped, and it's an important thing.
We have a question now from Chili Boy, who wonders, he always wanted to know, how do you come up with the dance move, and how long does it take for you to, you know, put the choreography for a song together?
I pretty much just get in a room and I start to dance, and I don't create the dance creates itself, really. So I'll do something and I'll look back on tape and I'll go, wow, I didn't realize I had done that. It came out of the drums. Dancing is about interpretation. You become the accompaniment of the music. So when you become the bass to Billie Jean, I mean, I couldn't help but do the step that I was doing when the song first starts, because that's what it told me to do. You know, if I turn around, spin, stop, move my legs aside, and then lift up the collar of my shirt, that's for that moment in the accompaniment.
I remember watching that moment on television and just leaping out of my chair. It was so extraordinary.
Thank you very much.
It was really one of the great, great moments.
And it's all spontaneous movement. Nothing in that piece was on Billie Jean was planned but the moonwalk. Everything else was just, you know, improvising, really.
Now we have a question from S.J. Champs, who wonders, do you think you'll do another duet with Janet?
I would love to. It just depends on the song and the time. When she's in one corner of the earth, I'm in another place. It's very rare that our ships pass in the night. So it's not easy to do because we're both very busy. But that would be very nice. I love working with her. She's a true, real professional and a wonderful sister.
Excellent. We have Chic33, who wonders, who was your idol when you were a child?
I always went nuts for, I could be asleep in Indiana at like 5 years old. I'd be asleep, and there'd be a late night, like 1 a.m, some show on. I remember seeing my mother run to my room, wake up, James Brown is on.
Wow.
I'd wake up, or Sammy Davis Jr. is playing, or Fred Astaire, they got a good Fred Astaire movie on. Gene Kelly's on right now. And I'd sit there with my eyes I'd be awestruck just watching. So when videos came out, I had a collection.
Yeah, I understand that you have an extraordinary collection of kind of old movies, of all of the performers that you like, and old music performances of the artists that you admire. You know, talk about some of those and some of the stuff that you've got that you like to watch.
Well, I like to before I do anything, it could be any situation. I love studying the whole history of it before I take the first step to innovate. So I love studying any vaudevillians, you know, who came from that era, even though they didn't have TV.
Sure.
But they transcended into television later on. I love people like Jackie Gleason, Red Skelton. I'm crazy about the Three Stooges, anything Walt Disney. And as far as performers, I love Anthony Newley, you know, like I said, Jackie Wilson, James Brown.
Fantastic.
You know, they're incredible. I mean, when James Brown and the Famous Flames, he was so incredible. I would watch him and cry. I'd be crying as I'm watching him. I've never seen a person perform like that, ever.
You know, it must have been extraordinary for you as, you know, when you were young and making records and getting to meet some of your idols. You know, that must have been such a powerful experience.
Oh, it truly was. And to have them tell me that they thought I was incredible, and all my life I thought they were like the best. It was the best compliment I could get, and no award could be given to me that could top that, you know. When Fred Astaire or Gene Kelly, who I knew very well, or Frank Sinatra, told me they think I'm amazing and I have an amazing career ahead of me. As a child, they would tell me this, because because they were my neighbors. They lived by me.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt very honored and happy to hear those kind of words from these legends.
Yeah, that must have been very encouraging.